The first time that I step out on the field with my jersey on as a college athlete is going to be very special. I came to the University of St. Francis to play at St. Francis and to come here academically because of their reputation. I've always had that dream to play bigger than high school, and I got that here. I really like that it's a Catholic university. It almost gives me a more sense of safety and welcoming. My name is Johnny Waddell, and I am the defensive nose guard at the University of St. Francis.
I'm Peyton Priest, and I play volleyball at the University of St. Francis. I had opportunities to play at another university. I chose St. Francis because I wanted to be closer to home. I wanted a more faith-based college. I just feel at home and safe when I walk around campus. The class sizes here are very small. All the professors know your names, you know all your classmates, and I love that about here. My first impression was, wow, it's beautiful. I can see myself living there, going to class there, playing volleyball there. I felt so welcome. I love athletics. I love to be in a sport, and volleyball was just one thing that stuck out to me here when I got here. When I met the girls, they were so nice, so welcoming. I just saw myself being on that team. I love seeing how God has brought me here to St. Francis. Coming here was the right choice for me.
Future is what you make it, so make it matter.
At the University of St. Francis,
we'll help you build a purposeful life.
One based on your interest, goals, and desire to make the world a better place.
Learning is personal here.
You'll be known by name,
supported by experts,
and connected to professional opportunities.
Our Catholic values will inspire you to use your education for the greater good.
By serving and leading others.
Build a life of meaning and purpose.
At the University of St. Francis.
You
belong here.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Bishop Darcy Stadium and this edition of St. Francis Women's Soccer. The broadcast is brought to you by SummitCitySports.com. The St. Francis Cougars come into this game 9-3-4 overall. They are 2-3-2 in conference play, but today they are taking on the team that is currently the second-place team in the Crossroads League, the Spring Arbor Cougars of Spring Arbor, Michigan. And I apologize early on if I get tongue-tied here. St. Francis, Spring Arbor, I know that's happened before, unfortunately. Also, both teams have the same mascot, the Cougars, but nonetheless, Spring Arbor comes in with an overall record of 11-3. They are 6-1 in conference play. Spring Arbor is chasing only Indiana Wesleyan. They're just a half game behind them, and they play IWU this coming Wednesday to close out the regular season. So Spring Arbor's got a good chance to get the top seed in the Crossroads League. However, St. Francis looking for an upset today. St. Francis, as I mentioned, has a 9-3-4 overall record, 2-3-2 in conference play. They did not win a single conference game last year, but this year they have beaten Huntington and Goshen, both in 1-0 victories. If they were able to get the win today, it would be a huge upset for the Cougs. We'll have to wait and see what happens. They're about to announce the starting lineups here shortly. But St. Francis looking for an upset, trying to get their third conference win of the season, team that had only one conference win all last year. 0 conference wins all last year. Leading scorer on the year for St. Francis is Haley Roberson. She has 5 goals in this game. The last game that the Cougs won, Taylor Swigert got the game's only goal, her first goal of the season, the freshman out of Leo High School, helping her team to come away with the 1-0 win over the Goshen Maple Leafs. Played for a pretty good Leo program in her high school days. Overall record has improved from last year when St. Francis went just 3-11-4 overall on the season. Spring Arbor is coached by Shannon Andringa. She's in her second year as the head coach of the Spring Arbor Cougars. She played at Spring Arbor, helped them win their first ever NAIA National Championship. That was back in the 2015 season, so Andringa with deep connections to Spring Arbor University. Lauren Marshall is Spring Arbor's leading scorer. She's got 10 goals on the season. She's far and away the leading goal scorer. Annika Arsenault is second in goals along with Jocelyn Hendricks. Those two each have 4 goals apiece this season. Arsenault and Reagan Ramirez are the team leaders. They're tied for second in assists with 4. Kaylee Beekle is the leader in assists with 5 of those on the season. We'll have the starting lineups announced here in just a matter of moments. In the meantime, we'll be back after this quick 1-minute break. You're watching St. Francis Soccer right here on this broadcast brought to you by SummitCitySports.com.
I'm Peyton Priest, and I play volleyball at the University of St. Francis. I had opportunities to play at another university. I chose St. Francis because I wanted to be closer to home. I wanted a more faith-based college. I just feel at home and safe when I walk around campus. The class sizes here are very small. All the professors know your names, you know all your classmates, and I love that about here. My first impression was, wow, it's beautiful. I can see myself living there, going to class there, playing volleyball there. I felt so welcome. I love athletics. I love to be in a sport, and volleyball was just one thing that stuck out to me here when I got here. When I met the girls, they're so nice, so welcoming. I just saw myself being on that team. I love seeing how God has brought me here to St. Francis. Coming here was the right choice for me.
The future is what you make it. So make it matter.
At the University of St. Francis,
We'll help you build a purposeful life.
One based on your interest, goals, and desire to make the world a better place.
Learning is personal here.
You'll be known by name,
supported by experts,
and connected to professional opportunities.
Our Catholic values will inspire you to use your education for the greater good.
By serving and leading others.
Build a life of meaning and purpose.
At the University of St. Francis,
You belong here.
St. Francis ready to take on Spring Arbor here at Bishop Darcy Stadium in Fort Wayne, Indiana. The Cougs looking for their third conference win of the season. They did not win a conference game all last year. They've won 2 so far this year. Here's the starting lineup for St. Francis while you were here. I'll give you the starting lineup for Spring Arbor. Reagan Kohler is in goal, native of Archbald, Ohio. The rest of the starters are Kaylee Beekle, Jessie Postma, Lauren Marshall, Megan Mahaley, Annika Arsenault, Farah Sarah, Jocelyn Hendricks, Ayla Thompson, Kayla Barr, and Alyssa Pringle. Those are the starters for the Spring Arbor Cougars. Spring Arbor, of course, out of Spring Arbor, Michigan. They are the only Michigan team in the Crossroads League. Most of the other teams are from Indiana, although there is also Mount Vernon, who's from Ohio. Their men's soccer team comes here on Wednesday night. That will round out the regular season for men's soccer in the Crossroads League. And it looks like St. Francis is going to kick it off to start this game. Obviously, the kickoffs in soccer work different than they do in football. You kick it off and you basically create a possession for your team in soccer, unlike in football where when you kick it off, you're giving the possession to the opponent. And we're underway here at Bishop Darcy Stadium as St. Francis pushes the ball across midfield. A little through ball, and only Spring Arbor Cougars in navy blue are there. And they get the ball to the far side. Cougars of Spring Arbor get the ball to the 40-yard line. Pass back there from number 21, Farah Sarah from Macomb, Michigan. Spring Arbor still on their own side of the field. St. Francis putting on a little pressure and a near takeaway, but Spring Arbor still has it. I think that was Lewis pressuring the ball there, and now the Cougars do get a takeaway. Lauren Marshall has her first touch of the game. She is the leading scorer for Spring Arbor coming into this game, and it's not even close. 10 goals scored for Marshall as this ball goes out off of Spring Arbor, and St. Francis will get this throw in. Fired in. Swigert almost watched it go out of bounds, and now it will go out of bounds off of Spring Arbor, apparently. St. Francis will get that throw in as that ball bounces into the bleachers. Empty bleachers on the far side of the field today. We do have fans in the stands on the near side, though. A touch for Kaylee Beekle. Beekle back to the middle for Sarah. They work it around to Megan Mahaley, sophomore defender out of Belleville, Michigan. Goes all the way down the field for Pringle. But defenders are there for St. Francis. Back the other way from Arsenault. And that's going to be kicked out of bounds. A little push from behind, it looked like. But Roberson does not get called for that, and it will be a throw-in for St. Francis as they get the throw-in to Swigert on the near side. Trying to give one to Meeks, but Spring Arbor's there for the takeaway. Spring Arbor, the second-place team in the Crossroads League standings right now. St. Francis were to win this game, it'd be a huge upset for the Cougars, but a big confidence boost for this program. Team that's been last place in the conference several times in recent years. Right now, the Cougars find themselves at 6th in the conference. 6 out of 10, that is. Arsenault feeds it back. By the way, St. Francis men got a start about an hour before this game got started. Left-footed shot, and that is going to be saved by Rachel Bova, who's in goal wearing the blue goalie uniform today. That's kind of unusual, or at least it has been for most of the season. You've seen the goalies, especially Rachel Bova, going with orange shirts in between the pipes, but Bova going with the powder blue, the Carolina blue, if you will. It's not Dodger blue. Of course, the Dodgers winners of Game 1 of the World Series last night on Freddie Freeman's walk-off salami. Backwards pass, Bova's the only one there. I will say this, Spring Arbor's jerseys are a little closer to Yankee blue, that navy blue color that the Yankees wear. Of course, they don't wear the all-blue jerseys, but they do wear the navy blue helmets. They've got the navy blue pinstripes, the NY logo in navy blue on their jerseys. If you're not following Major League Baseball, that's who the Dodgers played last night in Game 1 of the World Series. They'll play them again in Game 2 tonight. Cleared out by the Cougs of St. Francis, but that one goes out of bounds, bounces right in front of Ken Neuber. And a throw in here by Alyssa Pringle, the sophomore out of Oakley, California. Transferred in from Concordia University, which is in Irvine, California. That's the only Concordia University in the LCMS system that's located in the state of California. It's not the only Concordia University in the LCMS system. I believe there's 6 total right now. But Spring Arbor with a chance. That shot goes wide, just barely to the right, off the foot of Jocelyn Hendricks. We'll give this one another look. Long replay, so we'll see if we can't speed it up a little bit. Yeah, there you see Hendricks getting through some traffic. And just a couple changes in direction, got herself free, and boy, it looked like she was going to have a sure goal, but that thing just sailed wide to the right. And for the moment, it's still a scoreless tie. Header by the Cougars of St. Francis. Through ball, they're looking for Hendricks again. She got tangled up there, and the Cougars get it out to Meeks. Swigert pushing toward the ball. She does get to it. She trips. No call. Tripped over a Spring Arbor player, but they don't call the trip foul. Instead, they play on as Reagan Kohler boots that one to the far side of the field. Mahaley pushing down the field. Mahaley down the sideline. Has Pringle. Defenders back there, so no offsides. Pringle tries to get it right to the middle of the field, and St. Francis is there. Kept alive by Farah Sarah. Sarah trying to send that all the way over to Jessie Postma, sophomore out of Hudsonville, Michigan. Throw in by the Cougars of St. Francis. And Spring Arbor gets it back for now, but that's redirected all the way into the Spring Arbor end of the field. Here comes Mahaley. Goes across midfield. And Meeks comes up with it. Roberson helped to create the takeaway. But now Mahaley has it again and sends it to the middle. Back there waiting was Kirsten Parker. Whistle blows, and it's against Spring Arbor. I thought I heard somebody say call it both ways. Mahaley sends it down the field. Kicked out of bounds. Knocked out again, this time by Spring Arbor. And St. Francis will get the throw in. Their pregame warm-up, St. Francis wears the number 30 on their warm-up jerseys to commemorate that this is year 30 of St. Francis women's soccer as Marshall sends it toward the far side. They get the ball into the middle of the field, into the box, left-footed shot, and they score! And that is Jocelyn Hendricks. Well, let's get another look at that on our replay. Jocelyn Hendricks had to battle for this ball and just able to get free. She snuck it past the defender and gets the first goal of the game to put Spring Arbor up 1-0. And Spring Arbor's battling for a Crossroads League title. If they win out, they win the Crossroads League. They'd be a half a game ahead of Indiana Wesleyan. If they win today and Wesleyan loses, then for at least 3 more days, Spring Arbor would be first place in the Crossroads League. Haley Brenner gets to that ball and sends it back into the box for Rachel Bova, the freshman out of Carroll. Parker, little through ball there. Swigert battles for it. Meeks does too, but Spring Arbor wins that battle. Jocelyn Hendricks with her 5th goal of the season on that last shot that she took just a moment ago. She becomes the 2nd leading goal scorer for Spring Arbor this season, and there is Hendricks again. Going after the ball, and trip is called against St. Francis. Ken Newber upset with that, perhaps arguing that the officials missed a trip call that would have gone against Spring Arbor earlier in the game. Knocked out of bounds, and this will be St. Francis's throw-in. Throw in there by Parker. Header to the sideline, goes over the Spring Arbor bench. This will be St. Francis's throw-in. It's Parker, 23, not 28. Off the foot of Meeks, but knocked out by the Cougars from Spring Arbor, Michigan. That definitely went off of Spring Arbor. I think it went off of 2 Spring Arbor players before it went out, and St. Francis will get this throw-in. And Haley Roberson, who typically handles the throw-ins, will handle this one. She fires it into the box. And that, I think, was headed out by Spring Arbor, so St. Francis will get a corner kick. I believe that's Meeks handling the corner kick for St. Francis. The kick goes high. I think that was Tobin waiting on the back end. Deflected. Roberson through traffic. Tobin had it kicked away. Meeks battling, and it's going to go to St. Francis. Somebody shouted handball. That would mean a free kick. And it's going to be a free kick, so a handball against Spring Arbor. Tobin handling the free kick for the Cougars. Of course, there's 2 breeds of Cougar in this particular game. She's handling the kick for the St. Francis Cougars. Header, all too high. I think that was Parker who went for the header that time for St. Francis. Let's get a look at it here. You'll see the free kick by Tobin. It's hard to tell, but I do think that was Parker just off the crossbar. Boy, she had a chance. Maybe it was just me, but it didn't look like Reagan Kohler even moved. Almost as if she knew exactly where that ball was going to go. But another free kick for the Cougars of St. Francis. High kick into the box. Header clears it. And Swigert sends it back. Check that. That's Brenner. Haley Brenner's. This kick goes wide. Kohler's there to scoop it up. Won't go as a save. She was away from the goal when she got it. Kicked across midfield by Ayla Thompson. Over to Sarah. Pringle pushing toward the ball. Lewis back toward the middle. Beagle almost got tangled up. Tried to get that one to Postma, but it's out off of her. And St. Francis will get a throw in. Mahaley. That's knocked out of bounds off St. Francis. As we're in the 15th minute here at Bishop Darcy Stadium. Cleared out by the Cougars of St. Francis as that kind of ricochets off both fence posts. Long shot. Bova's got it for the save. Bova's been tested early on. Spring Arbor's gotten pressure on her a couple of different times. Let's take another look at this. Shortly off the throw-in. Yeah, that was a long distance shot, and Bova there in the corner able to save it. Had a foul called on St. Francis, and Spring Arbor is going to get a free kick. Thompson. That header goes out, and St. Francis will get the throw in. But this one goes out off the Cougars. Throw in by Pringle. They're going to say that one went out. I'm not sure it did. I thought that one stayed on the line when Hendricks touched it, but it's called out, and St. Francis will get the throw in. Pringle. Knocked out of bounds by St. Francis, and another throw-in coming up for Spring Arbor. Alyssa Pringle, the sophomore from Oakley, California, throws it in, trying to get it to Hendricks. Hendricks, they said white foul, called it on Parker, and now Hendricks comes up limping. And she's still not quite 100%, but she does not look like she wants to come out of this game. She's going further and further into the field of play. As Spring Arbor gets this free kick, Pringle runs over it. Sarah kicks it back. Sarah has it deflected by Swigert, and the Cougs try to change direction. Cougs from St. Francis, that is. A little contact there as Lewis gets a touch for St. Francis. Meeks sends it down the field. I believe what I'm hearing is a fire engine siren from somewhere behind us. There is a fire station just like 2 or 3 minutes away as the crow flies from Bishop Darcy Stadium. Backwards pass to Kohler. She sends it up to Mahaley. I said 2 or 3 minutes away. It's actually more like probably just 1 minute away, maybe even less than that is where that fire station is. A touch for Beekle across midfield, and Beekle has Meeks pushing behind her. She gets it back to Marshall. Booted down the field by Thompson. And coming out of the box, well, not quite out of the box, but coming well in front of the goal to scoop that one up is Rachel Bova. Cougars with another scoring chance. Left-footed shot, and that one is in. Spring Arbor goes up 2-0. Annika Arsenault. Well, we'll get another look at this replay in just a second. Here's a look at it as Arsenault got the touch. Looked like she was even with the defender there and snuck it in off the right post. Right past Bova. So far a tough go of it for St. Francis, as the Cougars of Spring Arbor take a 2-0 lead. Back across midfield, Spring Arbor's got it. That's Hendricks, who's got the game's first goal. She finds Marshall. Marshall, the leading scorer for the Spring Arbor team. That's poked away by Bova, but it's going to bounce out. It was off of Bova, so Spring Arbor gets a corner kick. Up 2-0 in the 20th minute. Farah Sarah to take the corner kick. Header, that goes off the side of her head almost, and chasing it down is Mahaley. Out of bounds, Swigert cleared it out, and Spring Arbor gets this throw in. Knocked out of bounds by, I think, Tobin, if I'm not mistaken. Another throw in for Spring Arbor. And they get the ball to Marshall. Leading goal scorer for the Spring Arbor team with 10 on the season. Doesn't have one tonight yet, or today I should say. Bova with a leaping save. That's off the head of Meeks, and it goes out. Spring Arbor will get this throw in. Quick throw into Beekle. Meeks couldn't keep it in, and Spring Arbor gets the throw in. Marshall has to go off Beekle. Swigert boots it down the field. But Spring Arbor comes away with it. This is Pringle. Alyssa Pringle sends it across the middle to Marshall. Lauren Marshall leading goal scorer for these Lady Cougars of Spring Arbor. And Kaylee Beekle gets a touch in the middle. Ayla Thompson across midfield. Thompson pushing. Left-footed pass. Gets that one to Hendricks. Hendricks already with one goal in this game, and she sends it off of St. Francis, I think, and yes, it will be a corner kick for Spring Arbor. Melina Marshall into the game for Spring Arbor. Marshall boots it high in the air and saved by Bova in traffic. We'll get another look at this replay. Bova snatched this away with several opposing players and teammates around her. She had to go into a crowd to get that ball. Quick throw in by Spring Arbor, and the header goes out. Throw in coming up for Spring Arbor yet again. Over to the near side for Pringle. They get it back to Pringle. Goes right past her and into Hendricks as Hendricks pushes down the field. Hendricks already one goal in this game, 5 for the season, trying to get it to Marshall in the box. St. Francis is ready for that. Out of bounds, and this will be a throw-in for Spring Arbor. Matea James, out of Concordia, comes in. Kicked around and out of bounds. Off James, I think, and a throw-in coming up for Spring Arbor. Nope, for St. Francis. Kirsten Parker will throw it in. And that one does go off St. Francis. Goes off of Riley Biddle, it looks like. Carly Biddle, I beg your pardon. Not to be confused with Riley Biddle, who plays football at East Noble. He's the quarterback. This ball's knocked out of bounds. Spring Arbor will get a throw-in. I had East Noble's game last night against Southside. Knights ended up winning that one 45-7. So they're taking on Leo in the second round of sectionals. Shot too high. I think that might have gone through the upright as well. Shelby Marshall, the senior out of Pinckney, Michigan. Not sure if she's related to Lauren Marshall. They're from different towns. Shelby from Pinckney and Lauren from Belleville, Michigan. If they're related, they're probably cousins. Cougs get to the ball, but the Spring Arbor Cougars get it right back. Emma Dennison comes away with it for Spring Arbor. Dennison, a junior out of Plymouth, Michigan. Spring Arbor pushing, already up 3-0. The trip happens outside the box. It will be called. And a free kick coming up for Spring Arbor. Again, the trip was outside the box. And St. Francis takes it away, but redirected by Spring Arbor. I think that was Roberson who came and got the ball. Nice play on her part. See if we get a chance to see this on this replay. I'll have to speed it up. The pass went backwards, and Roberson just jumped right in front of it. Another throw-in coming up for St. Francis. Sounds like Zoe Flores back in the ball game, or in the ball game for the first time, rather, for St. Francis. Postma across midfield. Booted downfield by Mahaley. And the only one there is Bova. She'll scoop it up. 29th minute here at Bishop Darcy Stadium. St. Francis down 2-0. Looking for a come from behind. Came into this game looking for an upset. It'd be their biggest upset of the season if they were to get it. But they're going to have to come from behind to get it. Pringle sends it across midfield to Beekle. Reagan Ramirez across midfield, pushing down the field. Ramirez, a through ball to Beekle. It's off her foot. And was she pulled down? I think that was Brenner who went down in the box, and she was trying to argue that she was pulled down. It's going to be a goal kick either way for St. Francis. 30th minute here at Darcy Stadium. 4 shots on goal for Spring Arbor, just 1 for St. Francis. But Spring Arbor has had the ball in the St. Francis zone quite a bit these last several minutes. Cleared it into the bench. To the bleachers, rather. The header goes out, and this will be a throw-in for the Cougars of St. Francis. Off of James. Cougars trying to stick with it. Swigert gets a touch. Got some traffic to go through. Lost the ball. That was a good find there. Lauren Marshall had gone out of bounds. And Alyssa Pringle wisely chose not to go her direction. Shelby Marshall sends it all the way to the far side of the field. Back to Beekle. Beekle with defenders pushing in, and Beekle to her right takes the shot, and it's off the post. Another chance, though, and Bova's got it. Another look at this. Well, we've got a chance to. Beekle with a good push there. Her first shot goes off the post, and then Bova able to get back in her spot and get the save on Beekle's second shot. That one goes wide. This ball goes out of bounds, and a throw-in coming up for St. Francis. It's Parker who throws it in. Sent back in Parker's direction. She has it knocked out. Marshall lobbying, but it's going to be a throw-in for St. Francis. Marshall tried to lobby that it should have been Spring Arbor's throw-in. Not so. Swigert has it go off of her. Marshall with a defender right on her. They get it back to Marshall with some space. Sends it all the way across to Postma. Knocked out by St. Francis, and Spring Arbor will get this throw-in. Over to Lewis. Lewis to the near side for Roberson. Trying to get it to James. Or check that. That was Parker who made the pass to James. James, can she keep it in? That appeared to go off Swigert. Apparently not. They say off of Melina Marshall. And St. Francis will get this throw in. That goes off of number 21 for St. Francis, Haley Wesley. Kicked all the way to the St. Francis bench as the players kind of brace themselves there waiting for that ball to come. Some of the girls in the front got their hands up to keep it from hitting anybody in the back or something like that. One's out of bounds as Roberson kind of walled off the Spring Arbor player. Got a throw in for St. Francis. 35th minute here at Darcy Stadium. Backwards pass. They continue to go backwards to Mahaley. That's knocked out by St. Francis. This will be a Spring Arbor throw-in. Ken Newber kicks it right to Alyssa Pringle. Good sportsmanship by Coach Newber. Well, it's not really sportsmanship. It's more doing what you have to do in that case. You know it's Spring Arbor's throw-in. But he did the right thing there. Joldersma pushing, takes the shot. I think that was deflected by St. Francis. Out of bounds throw-in coming up for St. Francis. Taylor Keenan will come into the game. She'll give Taylor Swigert a breather. Header back toward the middle, and St. Francis is ultimately going to come up with it. That's behind Keenan. Trying to chase it down, and she goes out of bounds. Almost slips on the turf out there. Looks like Pringle's going to throw it in. Header back the other way. Through traffic, and Keenan gets a touch on the near side. Knocked out of bounds by Spring Arbor. St. Francis will get this throw in. Parker throws it in backwards to Lewis. And Lewis kicks it out. This will be Spring Arbor's throw. Marshall sends it to the far side. Across midfield, and the Cougs Send it back the other way, and I think that did go off of Spring Arbor. Knocked out by Spring Arbor. Another throw-in coming up for St. Francis as it goes into that goal there on the side. Final regular season broadcast of St. Francis soccer comes your way this coming Wednesday as St. Francis men's soccer will take on Mount Vernon. That appeared to go off St. Francis, and it will be went off Spring Arbor. Corner kick for the Cougars. Cougars of St. Francis, that is. That ball rolls and behind the fence. And the Cougs waste no time getting the ball in. Backwards pass. That's Brenner. Across midfield and taken away by Spring Arbor. They get it back up the field to Claire Van Zandt. Van Zanten, I beg your pardon. Back to the middle for Ramirez. A chance for Spring Arbor. Back toward the middle. Shot, and they score. Rachel Tenillian. Here's another look at it. Tenillian, she gets the touch there and just put it in the far side corner. And Spring Arbor takes a 3-0 lead. Well, for Rachel Tenillian, that goes as her third goal of the season. We've had Annika Arsenault scored, Jocelyn Hendricks has scored, and now Rachel Tenillian scoring for just the third time this year. But Spring Arbor, who's second place in the Crossroads League, is showing you why they're that high ranked in the conference. Shelby Marshall getting a touch in the middle. She trips, and it's going to be a foul called against St. Francis. And now the clock has stopped, and is a yellow card going to be issued? It looks like it is. Yep, there's the card. I think that's for Haley Roberson. Yep, that is for Roberson. I don't think we've seen Roberson get a whole lot of yellow cards lately, but she gets the yellow card here. And Spring Arbor gets a free kick with 5:23 left to go in this first half. Right-footed shot over the head of Tenillian. And St. Francis may have just committed a foul in the box. Kirsten Parker looks like she committed the foul, and I think this is going to be a direct kick. See if we can't get another look at it. Well, that's the back end of the play, but you can see that Parker is beside herself. Looks like it's Alana Simmons. Or was that 16? Reagan Ramirez taking the shot. Oh, saved by Bova. She saves the direct kick. That's worth another look. Reagan Ramirez on the penalty kick. Bova read it great. Shot to her right. She dove to her right from the beginning. If I had to guess, I'd say she knew something about where Reagan Ramirez was going with that shot. Across midfield, doesn't quite get to midfield. Pringle gets to the ball and sends it over to Tenillian. Tenillian through traffic, and Spring Arbor with a chance. And another save by Bova. She saved the shot by Van Zanten. Well, that's worth another look as well. This was a golden scoring chance for Van Zanten, but she could not put it past Bova. Spring Arbor gets it down the field. Out of bounds, Spring Arbor lobbying that it should be a corner kick, and that's what the call is going to be. Kicked high in the air. Header goes wide. St. Francis will make a substitution. This is Odessa Alvarez, freshman out of Convoy, Ohio. St. Francis will get the goal kick here. Header back the other way. Taken away there by Wesley. Gets the ball up the field as the Cougs try to get it through traffic to Alvarez. Another pass. Knocked out of bounds. That appeared to go off St. Francis, and it will be a goal kick for Spring Arbor. Over to Lewis. Lewis able to get past Tenillian, and I think Tenillian tugged on her shirt, and that's what gets the call here. Coming up on the final minute of the first half, St. Francis will get a free kick 9 yards past midfield. Wesley with the kick. Lewis has it taken away. That's Van Zanten. Taken away again, that time by Parker. Check that. There's Parker on the near side, and Parker pushing around some traffic. Kept it in. Knocked out by Spring Arbor. But just 18 seconds to go. Parker throws it in. Kept in by Spring Arbor. They clear it down the field. Back toward the middle, and looks like the clock's going to run out, and the first half is now in the books. Well, a 3-0 lead for the Cougars of Spring Arbor over the Cougars of St. Francis. Well, we'll be back in a little bit and get a look at some of the replays that we've had here in this game so far. You're watching St. Francis Women's Soccer. The broadcast is brought to you by SummitCitySports.com.
The first time that I step out on the field with my jersey on as a college athlete is going to be very special. I came to the University of St. Francis to play at St. Francis and to come here academically because of their reputation. I've always had that dream to play bigger than high school, and I got that here. I really like that it's a Catholic university. It almost gives me a more sense of safety and welcoming. My name is Johnny Waddell, and I am the defensive nose guard at the University of St. Francis.
I'm Peyton Priest, and I play volleyball at the University of St. Francis. I had opportunities to play at another university. I chose St. Francis because I wanted to be closer to home. I wanted a more faith-based college. I just feel at home and safe when I walk around campus. The class sizes here are very small. All the professors know your names, you know all your classmates, and I love that about here. My first impression was, wow, it's beautiful. I can see myself living there, going to class there, playing volleyball there. I felt so welcome. I love athletics. I love to be in a sport, and volleyball was just one thing that stuck out to me here when I got here. When I met the girls, they're so nice, so welcoming. I just saw myself being on that team. I love seeing how God has brought me here to St. Francis. Coming here was the right choice for me.
The future is what you make it. So make it matter.
At the University of St. Francis,
We'll help you build a purposeful life.
One based on your interest, goals, and desire to make the world a better place.
Learning is personal here.
You'll be known by name
supported by experts.
and connected to professional opportunities.
Our Catholic values will inspire you to use your education for the greater good.
By serving and leading others.
Build a life of meaning and purpose.
At the University of St. Francis,
You
You belong here.
Well, it is halftime here at Bishop Darcy Stadium. A 3-0 lead for the Spring Arbor Cougars, and we'll go ahead and show you the 3 goals that Spring Arbor has scored in this game. Now, later on, we will show you some very impressive saves from Rachel Bova, but here is how Spring Arbor has taken this 3-0 lead. That first goal you'll see scored by Jocelyn Hendricks. She had to work her way around a defender there to get free and get the shot off. But Jocelyn Hendricks comes up with her 5th goal of the season. And a little bit later, it was Annika Arsenault who added to the lead. And Arsenault follows the ball, touches it, even with the defender, just sneaks it right through the legs of the defender. And got it right past Rachel Bova to make it 2-0 in favor of the Spring Arbor Cougars. However, that wasn't the last goal they scored. As you can see, it's 3-0 on the scoreboard. And it was Rachel Tenillian who put in the game's 3rd goal. Tenillian got it into that far side corner just past Bova, and the second-place team in the Crossroads League is looking the part today against these St. Francis Cougars. Back in just a little bit, you're watching St. Francis Women's Soccer, brought to you by SummitCitySports.com.
The first time that I step out on the field with my jersey on as a college athlete is going to be very special. I came to the University of St. Francis to play at St. Francis and to come here academically because of their reputation. I've always had that dream to play bigger than high school, and I got that here. I really like that it's a Catholic university. It almost gives me a more sense of safety and welcoming. My name is Johnny Waddell, and I am the defensive nose guard at the University of St. Francis.
I'm Peyton Priest, and I play volleyball at the University of St. Francis. I had opportunities to play at another university. I chose St. Francis because I wanted to be closer to home. I wanted a more faith-based college. I just feel at home and safe when I walk around campus. The class sizes here are very small. All the professors know your names, you know all your classmates, and I love that about here. My first impression was, wow,
I can't tell who that number
it's
is
beautiful.
anyway.
I can see myself living there, going to class there, playing volleyball there. I felt so welcome. I love athletics. I love to be in a sport, and volleyball was just one thing that stuck out to me here when I got here. When I met the girls, they're so nice, so welcoming. I just saw myself being on that team. I love seeing how God has brought me here to St. Francis. Coming here was the right choice for me.
The future is what you make it, so make it matter.
At the University of St. Francis,
We'll help you build a purposeful life.
One based on your interest, goals, and desire to make the world a better place.
Learning is personal here.
You'll be known by name
supported by experts.
and connected to professional opportunities.
Our Catholic values will inspire you to use your education for the greater good.
By serving and leading others.
Build a life of meaning and purpose.
At the University of St. Francis,
You
You belong here.
Halftime here at Bishop Darcy Stadium. It is Spring Arbor leading St. Francis in the Battle of the Cougars, a score of 3-0. Well, though it is 3-0, Rachel Bova has had some impressive saves so far in this game. This one doesn't necessarily go as a save, but it was a corner kick for Spring Arbor, and Bova in a crowd of people, you'll see it right here, she jumps up and snatches it out of the air, surrounded by both blue and white jerseys. Here's another impressive save. This one does officially go as a save. The first shot, I believe by Beekle, went off the post, and then Bova able to get back into position and save the second try. Maybe that doesn't go officially as a save, but nonetheless it's a nice stop on the part of Rachel Bova. Now Spring Arbor took a penalty kick, had a chance to make it 4-0 after a trip call, but watch this as Bova is able to save the PK. Like she was reading that the whole way, knew the ball was going to be kicked to her right, and it was. And with that, St. Francis keeps it at 3-0. Another impressive save by Bova here on this effort. You'll see here as Claire Van Zanten pushes down the field, but Bova is able to come up with the save, and St. Francis still down 3-0, but could have been a lot bigger deficit had that save not happened. Now, I'm told that Zoe Eager is taking some warm-up lumps in between the pipes. Right now, Bova is well outside the goal. And again, I was told that was Zoe Eager, a sophomore out of Woodland High School over in Woodburn, Indiana. Woodland Volleyball, by the way, is competing in regionals today. They're in Class 2A. Of course, we at Summit City Sports also broadcast a variety of sports, including Indiana Tech hockey. I believe that's Indiana Tech women's hockey that's going on right now as the Warriors lead Concordia Ann Arbor 1-0 over there at the Parkview Sport 1 Ice House. I believe we've got the Spacemen this weekend as well. In the meantime, we're going to take another quick break, and we're going to check on the St. Francis men's soccer game. That got started about an hour before this one. Back in a moment here on this broadcast of St. Francis women's soccer. It's brought to you by SummitCitySports.com.
The first time that I step out on the field with my jersey on as a college athlete is going to be very special. I came to the University of St. Francis to play at St. Francis and to come here academically because of their reputation. I've always had that dream to play bigger than high school, and I got that here. I really like that it's a Catholic university. It almost gives me a more sense of safety and welcoming. My name is Johnny Waddell, and I am the defensive nose guard at the University of St. Francis.
I'm Peyton Priest, and I play volleyball at the University of St. Francis. I had opportunities to play at another university. I chose St. Francis because I wanted to be closer to home. I wanted a more faith-based college. I just feel at home and safe when I walk around campus. The class sizes here are very small. All the professors know your names, you know all your classmates, and I love that about here. My first impression was, wow, it's beautiful. I can see myself living there, going to class there, playing volleyball there. I felt so welcome. I love athletics. I love to be in a sport, and volleyball was just one thing that stuck out to me here when I got here. When I met the girls, they're so nice, so welcoming. I just saw myself being on that team. I love seeing how God has brought me here to St. Francis. Coming here was the right choice for me.
The future is what you make it. So make it matter.
At the University of St. Francis,
We'll help you build a purposeful life.
One based on your interest, goals, and desire to make the world a better place.
Learning is personal here.
You'll be known by name
supported by experts.
and connected to professional opportunities.
Our Catholic values will inspire you to use your education for the greater good.
By serving and leading others.
Build a life of meaning and purpose.
At the University of St. Francis,
You
You.
belong here.
Welcome back. It's 3-0 in favor of the Spring Arbor Cougars over the St. Francis Cougars. Well, it looks as though St. Francis men's soccer ended in a scoreless tie up at Spring Arbor. Yeah, what I'm seeing is the second period's over and no score on the board. So it looks like a scoreless tie is how that game ended. We got about 4 minutes until the second half gets underway. You're watching St. Francis women's soccer. This broadcast brought to you by SummitCitySports.com.
The first time that I step out on the field with my jersey on as a college athlete is going to be very special. I came to the University of St. Francis to play at St. Francis and to come here academically because of their reputation. I've always had that dream to play bigger than high school, and I got that here. I really like that it's a Catholic university. It almost gives me a more sense of safety and welcoming. My name is Johnny Waddell, and I am the defensive nose guard at the University of St. Francis.
I'm Peyton Priest, and I play volleyball at the University of St. Francis. I had opportunities to play at another university. I chose St. Francis because I wanted to be closer to home. I wanted a more faith-based college. I just feel at home and safe when I walk around campus. The class sizes here are very small. All the professors know your names, you know all your classmates, and I love that about here. My first impression was, wow, it's beautiful. I can see myself living there, going to class there, playing volleyball there. I felt so welcome. I love athletics. I love to be in a sport, and volleyball was just one thing that stuck out to me here when I got here. When I met the girls, they're so nice, so welcoming. I just saw myself being on that team. I love seeing how God has brought me here to St. Francis. Coming here was the right choice for me.
The future is what you make it. So make it matter.
At the University of St. Francis,
We'll help you build a purposeful life.
one based on your interest, goals, and desire to make the world a better place.
Learning is personal here.
You'll be known by name
supported by experts.
and connected to professional opportunities.
Our Catholic values will inspire you to use your education for the greater good.
By serving and leading others.
Build a life of meaning and purpose.
At the University of St. Francis,
You
You.
belong here.
3-0 in favor of Spring Arbor over St. Francis here at Bishop Darcy Stadium. Well, St. Francis football was a winner today. They went on the road and knocked off Marion 31-28, the final there in Indianapolis. So St. Francis makes it 3 straight W's on the gridiron. St. Francis volleyball just starting. I believe that game got underway at 4 p.m., and that, by the way, is against the Spring Arbor Cougars. So the Spring Arbor University soccer and volleyball teams have made their way here to St. Francis. Again, we'll keep an eye and see if Rachel Bova goes back in the game in goal. They were taking some practice kicks with another one of their goalies. Another goalie over there who's wearing number 27. I don't have a 27 on the roster. I'd have to guess that might be Zoe Eager. I was told that she was the one taking some warm-up save opportunities during halftime. Halftime's just about 43 seconds from being over. More on that St. Francis football game. They were down 21-7, it looks like, at halftime. Outscored Marion 24-7 in the second half. 14-0 in the third quarter, 10-7 in the fourth. So the Cougars had a huge dogfight there with the Marion Knights over in Indy. In fact, St. Francis was actually down 21-0 before Lenny Bennett got a 4-yard touchdown run with 33 seconds to go in the first half. But it will be Spring Arbor getting the second half opening kickoff here at Darcy Stadium. Players back out on the field as Lauren Marshall looks like the one who's going to take the kickoff to start the second half. And we're underway. Half number 2 gets started here at St. Francis. Kick down the field toward Beekle. And Beekle sends it back to Melina Marshall. Lewis, the defender right on her, sends it down the field. She gets it to Swigert. That's knocked out of bounds right to Ken Newber. And I'm pretty sure that was a St. Francis fan pointing the wrong way. Yep, he just caught his own mistake. This ball goes out, or does it? Just barely kept in by Spring Arbor, redirected the other way. Throw-in coming up here for Spring Arbor. Over to number 16, that is Reagan Ramirez. Ramirez is the one who took the penalty kick that Bova saved. That pass goes past Beekle. Still a 3-0 lead for the Cougars of Spring Arbor, and it looks like indeed the Cougars have made a goalie change. I think that might be Eager who's in the box. Looks like that is the player wearing number 27, but again, I don't have a 27 on my roster. Backwards pass to Caitlin Fulton. Shot, and that's going to be saved. Header back across midfield. And we've got a whistle and a call against Spring Arbor, I think. St. Francis, nope, check that. Call against St. Francis. Spring Arbor will get the free kick. I'm told it's actually Caden Tassler who's in goal now. Tassler typically wears number 0. That's her number on the roster. Oh, missed shot there. Beekle went to take the shot but couldn't get her foot on the ball. A foul from behind. They're going to call it on Swigert as Megan Mahaley was going for the loose ball. Check that. They called it on Mahaley, I think, so this will be a free kick for St. Francis. Sometimes you forget, even as an announcer, that they switch sides at the end of halftime. Header back the other way. They get it to Marshall. Marshall sends it up the field for Hendricks. Hendricks trying to get around the defender and knocked out of bounds. Shot right through the upright. And Tassler will set this one up. I believe Tassler was the starter in the opener for St. Francis. They beat Defiance 4-0. Battle for the ball as that was Jalen Carroll going after it. Kept in play. It actually ricocheted off of Ramirez. Out of bounds off of Wesley. And this throw-in will go to Spring Arbor. Quick throw in there by Fulton. Left-footed shot right at Tassler. Here comes Spring Arbor again. But this time, I think that's Lewis staying in front of her, kind of walling off the Spring Arbor player. And St. Francis comes away with the ball. That's off Spring Arbor before it goes out, and it'll be a throw-in for St. Francis. 38-36 on the clock and counting. Tobin gets a touch, sends it back. Swigert trying to get it ahead. And that ball's going to roll out. Jalen Carroll pushed towards it, but could not come away with the ball. Throw-in coming up for Spring Arbor. Carroll toward the middle. Little through ball, Lewis. And they get the ball over to Caleb Barr. Kept in play, and Spring Arbor comes away with the ball. Back toward the middle. Marshall the feed. Left-footed shot, too high. Right over Tassler, right over the goal. In women's hockey, Indiana Tech now leading Concordia 3-0, or 3-0. They don't usually use the word nil in hockey. It's 3-0 here. Spring Arbor on top of St. Francis. I think that was Marshall who got pushed in the back there by Brenner. It was Marshall who got pushed, and Spring Arbor gets a free kick. 54th minute here at Bishop Darcy Stadium. High kick, and Tassler has it go off her hands and out of bounds. A corner kick coming up for Spring Arbor. Cleared out by St. Francis. Over to Barr. Barr pushing into the box, gets free. Across, and the kick goes high and through the upright. Tassler will set it up outside the box. And Tassler will boot that one down the field. Beekle able to knock it off of St. Francis, and Spring Arbor gets this throw in. Right toward the middle, they get it to Ramirez. Marshall walled off the defender, and she's able to get the ball over to Barr. Barr with the high shot, that's going out. Tassler boots it out on the goal kick. Header there by Beekle. Spring Arbor comes up with the ball. A little through ball. Parker. Cleared to the sideline, and that one lands in the stands. Another one goes out. That's off St. Francis as well, and Spring Arbor will get this throw in. Another one goes out, and that one will go to St. Francis. Matea James will come in for St. Francis. Out of bounds, and this throw-in will go to Spring Arbor. Beekle to her right. She's tripped, and there's the call. She's tripped about 30 yards away from the goal. I'll bring the ball back to where the foul happened. Actually, they bring it back 21 yards away from the goal. Free kick for Spring Arbor. A high kick that goes wide. It'll be a goal kick for St. Francis. Tassler boots it away. Kicked out of bounds. Lewis, that's booted out of bounds. And a throw-in coming up for St. Francis. Header back the other way by Thompson. And Spring Arbor will throw it in. Throwing goes to Barr. Ramirez gets the pass off. That was Beekle who makes the pass to the near side over to Barr. Thompson. They work this one over to Barr. Barr to her left. Barr shoots it all the way to the far side. Through ball, Cougars with a chance. Left-footed shot saved. Caden Tassler knocks it away. Shot again, and another save by Tassler. Through ball there. That bounces all the way down the field as Kohler waits on it and kicks it just barely out of the box. Spring Arbor has really controlled the possessions. They've had the ball in the St. Francis zone quite a bit today, and they're looking to take it back in that direction again as Lauren Marshall pushes to her right. A change in direction. Marshall into the box, and that's going wide. And Marshall lost her footing there. And meanwhile, I think one of the players for St. Francis is injured. Is that Thomas? Well, that's Thomas who's coming into the game, so that's not Thomas who's hurt. Carroll and Holly Thomas re-enter for St. Francis. Try to get a better look at the number here. I thought that said 15, but that didn't look like Haley Roberson. Roberson wears the number 15 as Coach Newber has a word with the officials. Clock is stopped at 28:21. Yeah, that looks like Roberson there on the bench. My apologies, I couldn't tell who that number was for St. Francis who went out. Ken Newber still having a discussion with the officials. Perhaps he's trying to lobby that there should have been a foul called there. Yeah, it was not Roberson who went out. Could see her there on the sidelines with the penny, and she looks fine. Well, I may have to take a quick break here because this is a long pause. Never mind. It looks like things may have been sorted out. Newber's heading back to the sideline. Sent down the field, and that one comes up short of midfield, but Spring Arbor gets it back. Quick little through ball to Marshall, and Marshall with a backwards pass to the right through traffic, and St. Francis clears. Caitlin Fulton gets to the ball for Spring Arbor, and she pulls on the arm of Tobin, and that's going to get the call. St. Francis will get a free kick, down 3-0. Out of bounds off of Spring Arbor, I think. Nope, off St. Francis. And this will be Kaylin Fulton to throw it in. Whistles blow as she throws it in. They're going to let a sub come in. That's Maislin Joldersma. Header by Thomas. Ramirez sends it out of bounds, and a throw-in coming up for St. Francis. Header goes out of bounds. Caleb Barr. Kicked out of bounds, and a throw-in coming up for St. Francis again. Cleared out. Lewis waits on it. Sent back into the St. Francis zone, and they're able to clear for now. Beagle with a header the other way. Gets it up to Joldersma. That's knocked out, and St. Francis will get this throw in. Marshall across the field. That ball gets loose, and here's Joldersma right inside the box. Joldersma sends it across the middle. It's cleared out. Back to Thompson. Thompson feeds it off to Pringle. Left-footed shot, and that is going right through the upright. Madison Meeks will come into the game. Tassler. Header back the other way by Marshall. Parker battles for the ball, but Spring Arbor comes away with it. Down the field, looking for Barr. Knocked out by St. Francis. It will be a corner kick, though, for Spring Arbor. Reagan Ramirez will handle the corner kick for Spring Arbor. Cleared out by St. Francis. They get it out of the box. And I think that's Joldersma waiting for the ball on the back end. Backwards pass over to number 23, Fulton. Marshall with a touch. Marshall's been very unselfish. She's the leading goal scorer for Spring Arbor coming into this game, and yet she's not afraid to pass the ball off even in scoring situations. Still stuck at a 3-0 lead for Spring Arbor, which they don't mind right now, especially since they've been able to control the possessions as well as they have. Couple subs come in. Coming out is Kaylee Beekle, along with Ayla Thompson. Heard that Annika Arsenault was one of the players who came in for Spring Arbor as this ball goes out of bounds, and a throw-in coming up for the Cougars of Spring Arbor. It's Fulton who throws it in. Marshall in a crowd of white jerseys. Marshall with the shot, and that rolls right into the hands of Caden Tassler. Tanillian. Off the head of Thomas, and that's going to go out. It did go off of Thomas. It will be a throw-in for Spring Arbor. Skylar Olson coming in for St. Francis for the first time, freshman out of Huntington North High School over in Huntington, Indiana. Quick throw-in looking for Marshall. She's got it. With defenders in front, Marshall with the cross, and that one goes off St. Francis. It will be a corner kick for Spring Arbor. Ramirez, the corner kick, a header, saved by Tassler. Spring Arbor gets to the ball, little through ball to Shelby Marshall. And Shelby comes away with it, finds Fulton. Fulton all the way across the field, a header, and that's going to be saved. Tassler has it for the Cougs. We're inside the 71st minute here at Darcy Stadium. Battle for the ball. Lewis comes away with it. St. Francis had trouble moving the ball into the Spring Arbor end of the field, and they're going to have trouble now as Spring Arbor pushes towards another potential goal. Loose and knocked in by Marshall. But was she offsides? I think that one's going to count. Was not offsides. It was Lauren Marshall who gets her 11th goal of the season. Get a look at it here on the replay. You see the back end of it. Marshall able to knock it in. And Lauren Marshall with her 14th goal of the season. Knocked out of bounds, and this will be a throw-in for St. Francis, so they'll get a chance on the Spring Arbor end of the field as Kirsten Parker throws it in. It's a throw-in to Haley Wesley. Wesley working her way around some traffic. I think that might actually be Flora, number 11, not Wesley. But that ball goes out off St. Francis. It'll be a goal kick for Spring Arbor. Marshall, left-footed kick, and I think that struck James in the hand, but the officials did not call it. And once again, here come the Cougars of Spring Arbor. That's knocked out. Looked like it was knocked out by St. Francis, and that's the direction everybody's moving. It's a corner kick. Looks like Megan Mahaley will take the corner kick for Spring Arbor. Mahaley has it saved by Tassler. Deflected around, and that's Tenillian. Check that Marshall now with the ball, and Marshall gets it through traffic. Fulton keeps it in for a little bit longer, sends it toward the middle of the field. Joldersma gets to it again, and knocks that one out of bounds. I think that throw-in's going to go to... Nope, they're going to give it to Spring Arbor. Out of bounds. Goal kick coming up for St. Francis. St. Francis is going to make a substitution. This is Stella Hudson, a freshman out of Concordia. Well, it says she's a freshman. I thought I remember her name from last year's roster. She's one of two former Concordia cadets on this St. Francis team. The other is Matea James. Arsenault, through ball to Marshall. Kept in play for now by Tobin. That goes off the foot of Melina Marshall, but Spring Arbor able to recover. Little through ball, they get it up the field to Caitlin Fulton. Marshall. Got pushed down from behind. Parker had it go out off her foot, tried to keep it in, but try as she might, just barely went over that gray line. Fulton throws it in. Marshall. A little takeaway from behind. Ramirez. And this one's going to go out of bounds. Goal kick coming up for St. Francis. Taylor Keenan coming into the game for St. Francis. She got some action in the first half. One thing we haven't heard today is I don't think we've heard any trains go by. We have a railroad track right behind, I believe, the south goal, if I'm not mistaken. Runs parallel to it. And normally there's a lot of trains that run through here on a game day. As Van Zanten takes the shot and a diving save by Caden Tassler. Spring Arbor chases the ball down. It looked like St. Francis might have a scoring chance, but instead, Spring Arbor sends it the other way. I think Parker got tripped from behind. Flora looked like she got taken down. Shelby Marshall with it. Leaves it off to Fulton. Fulton the shot, and Tassler's right there. Tassler boots that one out of the box, gets it across midfield. Lewis with some good speed there, gets it across midfield and cleared out of bounds by Spring Arbor. This will be a throw-in for St. Francis. Kirsten Parker will throw it in. Olson gets a touch. Sends it back to James. Taken away by Spring Arbor. And they keep it going back toward midfield. Shelby Marshall across midfield. Sliding effort there, and ball gets loose. It's kind of stuck under Flora, under her foot. As she gets up, this ball's going to roll out of bounds. Goal kick coming up for St. Francis. Gracie Beld coming into the game for Spring Arbor, along with number 27, McKenna Wilson. And also Paige Beaudry comes into the game. '79th minute here at Darcy Stadium. Spring Arbor with another scoring chance perhaps. Across and redirected but wide. That was Arsenault who took the shot. She's already scored a goal in this game. It was back in the first half and almost made it her second goal of the game. Yeah, that should be a goal kick. The ball should be just outside the goal. Backwards pass. They get it across midfield to Tenillian. Marshall has it go off her foot and out of bounds. It's going to be a throw-in for St. Francis. Cleared back across midfield. Beaudry. Over to Wilson. Wilson going for the through ball. It hit off of Lewis. And a good job there by Tassler as she recognized that it hit off of Lewis. Scooped up the ball before it went out to avoid a corner kick. Under 10 minutes to go in regulation here at St. Francis. Cougars with 2 conference wins this year. They did not win a conference game all of last year. Going for their 10th win of the season, but they'll need a comeback and they'll need it quick as we're starting to run down on time. Well, that came close to being a pull down. I'm not sure it wasn't. As Arsenault feeds it to her left. Left-footed shot and a leaping save by Tassler. Well, Caden Tassler's had some impressive saves. So far, she has held Spring Arbor just one goal here in the second half. Somewhat of a surprise that they made the goalie change at halftime, having Rachel Bova start the first half, then bringing in Tassler in the second half. Tassler's a junior from Northrop High School, another Fort Wayne kid. That's off of Spring Arbor. They get the ball up the field to Wilson. Wilson toward the middle. Marshall. St. Francis slows her down. That was Shelby Marshall pushing for Spring Arbor, but here's Beaudry. Beaudry to the left. Tanillian sends that one back to Melina Marshall. And Melina with a long kick. That one's going to be saved by Tassler rather easily. Moved back to the left by Gracie Beld, freshman out of Hudsonville, Michigan. Swigert looked like she had a takeaway for a second. Olsen runs into some trouble. That ball's kept in play. Wilson to the left. Right now it might be that Spring Arbor's just playing keep away and trying to let the clock milk down. Wilson through ball. Marshall had it knocked away and then cleared out by Thomas. Was that Tobin who knocked it away? No, I think that's Brenner, Haley Brenner. Across midfield to Beld. Beld to the near side, gets that one to Beaudry, and it's knocked out. Going to be off St. Francis as Spring Arbor tries to hustle in their subs. Sydney Wright is one of the subs that comes in along with Autumn Neville. Sydney Wright from Des Moines, Iowa, and Autumn Neville is from South Lyon, Michigan. Des Moines, Iowa, the same town. Well, you've heard of Des Moines, Iowa, I would assume. That's the capital of Iowa. It's also where Caitlin Clark, now with the Indiana Fever, is from, which would come as no surprise. She, of course, played for the Iowa Hawkeyes in college. And obviously the fact that you played for Iowa doesn't mean that you're from Iowa, but it's not uncommon for players to go to college in their home state. Doesn't always happen, but it's not uncommon, as Beaudry has it for Spring Arbor. Of course, I went to Huntington, and we did have a lot of born and bred Hoosiers there, but we also had people from Ohio, people from Illinois, people from Michigan. Me, I grew up in Florida. Got a call against St. Francis, and Spring Arbor is going to get the free kick from just around the 30-yard line. Of course, you probably know that the football and soccer teams share the field here at Bishop Darcy Stadium. They're going to bring it back to the 33 as the wind's picking up. We're seeing the flag blow even more than before. Of course, it was windy before the game. Kicked high, and that's going wide. Header the other way by McKenna Wilson. Little through ball and a chance for Spring Arbor. Shot saved by Tassler. It was Wright who took the shot, the Des Moines, Iowa native. Well, if Wright had scored that thing, would have been her second goal of the season. She is a senior. Wright perhaps with another chance. Cleared by St. Francis. Bounding ball back to midfield. As that's Mahaley who gets to it for Spring Arbor, and she is tripped. Swigert made contact, and they are going to call it. Free kick coming up from about the 30-yard line again, and this time it's Melina Marshall, the senior out of Plymouth, Michigan, taking the kick. Plymouth not the only Michigan town. More on that later as a little collision there outside the goal. Caden Tassler took a shot, I think from Gracie Beld. Yeah, that was Beld. Well, now the official heads over to Tassler. We've had one yellow card that was, I think, given to Haley Roberson, but he's not reaching for the card right now. Angled to the sideline. Header back the other way by Beld. Almost kept in. Wright tried to keep it in, but it goes off her, and St. Francis will get this throw in as we're inside 3 minutes to play here at Darcy Stadium. Parker kicks it backwards and out of bounds. It'll be Beaudry to throw it in. She gets it in just inside the box and knocked out of bounds. Beaudry wants to throw it in. Does. She had no choice but to throw it in. I think we got a handball against St. Francis here, so this will be a free kick for Spring Arbor. They move it over to the spot where the foul occurred. As Reagan Ramirez, or is that number 1-5? 15 would be Megan Mahaley. I think that's Mahaley taking the kick. Shot, diving save. Tassler continues her impressive half. Parker goes after the ball. Boy, Spring Arbor has really kept it on the St. Francis side of the field almost the entire second half. Just one goal to show for it. Of course, they do have the 3 first-half goals. They controlled the possessions in that half as well. We're down inside the final minute, and it looks like Spring Arbor is about to set up a date with Indiana Wesleyan to decide who wins the Crossroads League regular season title. Now, I'm not sure what's going on with IWU today. Check in on that game here in just a little bit while we've got a chance. IWU women's soccer is ranked 15th in the NAIA. So we get down to 12 seconds left. Well, technically, this would normally be a corner kick, but this game is about to end, and now it is over. Spring Arbor defeats St. Francis. Well, we do have an unofficial word that Indiana Wesleyan beat Huntington University 5-0 today. So Indiana Wesleyan plays Spring Arbor on Wednesday at Spring Arbor, and the winner will decide who gets the top seed in the Crossroads League tournament. That's right, tournament play coming up not too long from now. But today, Spring Arbor a winner over St. Francis 4-0 here at Bishop Darcy Stadium. And that is going to do it from here at Darcy Stadium. For my cameraman, Jalen Stewart, this is Thad Goff saying so long. Thank you for joining us in this edition of Women's Soccer, St. Francis Women's Soccer, brought to you by SummitCitySports.com.